kind of like we look at circumcision. You guys know what circumcision is? God gives Abraham a blessing, and he says, I'm going to be your God, and you're going to have all these kids, and so I want to give you a sign of that. I want you to circumcise every male. Now, I had students in the past that didn't know what this was, so let me explain it to you very quickly. Men have a part of their body that women don't have. And on the end of, well, let me just show you a slide here. No, I'm joking. I'm not kidding. You guys know what circumcision is. I'm not going to go into it. But think about the concept of circumcision, right? It's a fertility promise. God, you will have millions of children, right? You children, dust of the earth, sand of the sea. And how are you going to signify that promise? You're going to cut off a part of this thing that is highly involved in making those children. And ask the guys, ladies, ask the guy sitting next to you, this is a thing that's usually, for one reason or another, handled every day by men. And when they're getting ready to commit, when you get married, when you're getting ready to commit this act of procreation, there it is. There's the promise right there in front of you. So we look at circumcision and we go, ooh, but if you think about it from an ancient standpoint, from a traditional old perspective, if you're going to make a fertility promise, it's going to involve some of this region right down in here. And you always cut a covenant. That's why you always cut something, right? The ancient way of doing it is where you take your sacrificial animal, you cut it in half, you lay it out, you walk between it, and then whoever you're making the covenant with walks between it. The idea being, if I break my end of the covenant, you can do to me what we just did to this animal. Blood was always involved in cutting covenants. Blood brothers, you've heard this. And when you get to the Christian tradition, you've got this blood sacrifice of Jesus, right, on a cross. So this tradition of blood sacrifice symbolizing or cutting something, you always cut a covenant. In fact, in Hebrew, the word for making a covenant, you actually use the word cut. To cut a covenant. You always cut a covenant.